G'day everyone, it's Sam. If you're new here, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to help us grow. We practice yoga here, we focus on strength, and today is no different. We're working on stabilizing through the shoulders and strength through the arms today. And we're going to be using our blocks. So grab yourself 2 blocks, and when you're ready, we'll get right into it. So the work is going to start straight up in downward facing dog today. When you arrive, send the hips up nice and high. Play with bending one knee and then the opposite, just to pedal out through the back of the leg. So you give yourself some space. Give yourself some time to acclimate into the shape and give the back of the legs a chance to slowly lengthen. Allowing yourself to deepen your pattern of breath, just working on allowing the inhales and the exhales to travel freely, not looking to force them or change them in any way. And when you naturally settle into stillness there in your dog, we want to take it a little bit longer today, so maybe you shuffle the feet back just a touch, not the beat. And then from here, I'm going to slowly start to lift the heels nice and high. Look forward and start to roll forward. You're coming towards a plank position. If you notice the butt's still up way higher than the shoulders, then just shuffle those feet back. Resist gravity, so push away from the floor and see if the biceps can wrap towards the front of the room. Once we arrive, we'll take an inhale breath here. The exhale, we're going to lower down just halfway, finding Chaturanga, so hold in that halfway position. And then push to press straight back up and take it back, finding downward facing dog. We are going to do that a few more times just to really wake up the core body, the arms and shoulders. So when you're ready, the inhale will lift the heels, roll us forward to plank pose. The exhale will lower us halfway, Chaturanga, keep the elbows hugging in. And inhale to press straight back up to your plank. And exhale back, finding downward facing dog. So that's 2 just to really warm up. We are going to do 3 more, moving with our breath now, so a little more fluid. As you breathe in, roll forward, plank position. Exhale, lower Chaturanga. Inhale, press to the top of your plank. And exhale, take it back. 2 more, just like that, using your breath. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower half. Inhale, push it back up. Exhale, downward facing. Nice, last one. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, push it straight back up. And then we'll come back, downward facing dog. Lower the knees down. We're going to get straight into the work. Because we've already worked to wake up the arms and shoulders, we're going to use our blocks and prepare for our first Dolphin Pose. So one block's going to go on the lower side, underneath where your head would be if you were to come into a forearm plank. The second block is going to go between your thighs, and if you can put it on the skinniest side and the longest side, so you have a lot of space for your thighs to hold onto that block there. Then we're going to come on down to the forearms, adjust the block if need be. Squeeze the block with the palms. We'll try and resist the urge to use the fingers or the thumbs here. As we squeeze, we activate the muscles of the arms, which is exactly what we want. So you flex the arm muscles, push away from the floor, the shoulder blades draw apart, and then chin to chest. Start to lift the hips up nice and high. So getting comfortable in the dolphin shape, working to stack shoulders above the elbows. You can walk the feet a little closer if there's space, maybe the heels soften down or they lift up, completely up to you. The longer we're here, the more we are pressing away from the floor rather than falling towards it. The belly continually working to draw in through big exhales. We'll be here if we can, and count of 10 for 9, 8, 7, 6, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1. We'll walk our feet back. we're finding a forearm plank. So if you run out of mat, you may want to shift your block a little further forward here between the forearms. I want the hips to be just as high as the shoulders. We're going to continue to push away from the floor, continue to flex the muscles of the arms. With your feet about hip width distance apart and that block still between the thighs, we're going to start to roll off onto the outside edge of the right foot. See if you can hover the left foot on top. Keep pressing evenly through both forearms, moving your chest forward, and trying to wrap that right hip under and then move the hips towards the center of the mat. Really activating through those obliques, getting the arms working. Take one last breath. And as you exhale, gently come back through center. Try not to panic. We do have that left side to go. Keep those arms active. Keep pushing away from the floor. And then fall to the outside edge of the left foot. Let the right foot hover on top. Both feet are still flexed. Chest is moving forward. Both forearms grounded. Then wrap that left hip under. Move the hips towards the center of the mat. Keep guiding your chest forward. Take one last breath. As we exhale, we'll come back to center. Gently lower the knees, lower the thighs. And that block that was between the hands, just pop it off to the side. I'm going to take the arms down by the side, let the forehead rest against the earth. Preparing for Shalabhasana, Locust Pose. Working to squeeze the thighs together. Imagine you're trying to lift the block off the floor that is between your thighs. So fingertips into the earth. Start to roll the shoulder blades towards each other. Inhale, lift your head, lift your chest, and start to float your feet off the mat, followed by your hands. So the block may physically lift up, it may not, it doesn't really matter. That's just what we're working towards. So we're feeling the thighs squeeze in and then lift up. Muscles of the back body are contracting as we open up through the front body. Fingers are spread nice and wide and we'll point the toes back behind us. Be here for a count of 5. For 4, 3, 2, and on 1. Take the hands down by the low ribs, tuck the toes, then chest, belly, thighs. One movement, push off the floor and we'll come back downward facing dog. Nice work. So taking that block out of the thighs now, coming back to your neutral downward facing dog shape. Feet walk a little closer towards each other. Maybe the 2 big toes touch. And take a breath together. Big exhale. From here, inhale, reach that right leg straight up and back. Keep those toes flexed towards the face for now. Then inhale, left heel will rise. Right knee draws to chest as you roll forward very gently. Right foot will land between the hands. We'll find warrior 1, so back heel will drop. Sit deep in the right thigh. Inhale, reach the arms up, tall. So gazing towards your thumbs. Letting your right thigh sit nice and deep as you wrap the left hip forwards and work to flex through your left glute. Shoulders will soften as the fingers extend up towards the ceiling. Be here for a full inhale. Dive deeper on the breath out. And gently return the hands to the mat. We'll lift the back heel, step your right foot back. So we'll come to the plank pose. Again, feet are hip width distance. We're going to lift the heels nice and high. Roll both heels to the right hand side. When we get there, guide the chest forwards so that the right shoulder is directly on top of the right hand, then reach your left arm straight up. So we're pushing through the outside edge of the right foot, the inside edge of the left foot to get that right hip as far away from the floor as we can. If you find more space, wrap that left pinky finger forwards and extend the arm to the front of the room, gazing underneath your left armpit. So feeling that core body awareness and that stabilization through that right shoulder as you push away from the floor. Take a full inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to take it to Chaturanga. So roll onto toes, left hand grounds, lower halfway. Then come through, find upward facing dog. Roll shoulder blades back towards each other, push through the hands. Exhale will take you back, downward facing dog. Good stuff. Inhale, left leg will rise, keep the foot flexed. Exhale, lift the right heel, left knee to chest. See how gently you can land the foot. Back heel drops, prepare warrior 1. So sit deep, reach the arms up, look towards your thumbs. Let that right hip wrap forward and take your time to sit deep into the left leg. We're not trying to rush here. So you want to feel the right glute firm in, the right hip wrap forward, and this left thigh continuing to descend. And then the work comes, so you lift the arms up to get long through the front body, drawing that navel in. Take a full inhale. Be here for the breath out. And gently return your hands to the earth. Back heel will rise. Step your left foot back to the plank. Feet hip width distance, heels are high. Both heels roll to left. Move your chest forwards and keep left hand where it is. Reach the right arm straight up. You're pushing, pushing, pushing to lift the outside edge of that left hip and those left side obliques as far away from the floor as you can. Gazing up towards that right thumb. Maybe you spin the pinky finger forwards. Extend the arm to the front of the room. Really press, press, press through that left hand. Feel the navel draw in. Take an inhale breath. Exhale will take us to Chaturanga. Roll onto toes. Ground the right hand lower halfway. And inhale. Upward facing dog. Big breath. Exhale, take it back. Downward facing. Let's give yourself 2 or 3 breaths here. And we are going to move through that little sequence one more time either side, just with a little more fluidity. Remember, between transitions, we want to move gently. So when we step forward, we don't want to clunk the foot down, and when we take it back, we try to avoid sweeping it across the mat. So every pose and every transition with as much awareness as possible. Take a breath together. Gentle out breath. And then inhale, right leg will rise. Exhale, gently step the foot forward. Back heel drops. Inhale, warrior one. Just a single breath as you look up towards the hand. And exhale, hands find the mat. You step back, find your plank position, and roll both heels to right. Reach that left arm up towards the ceiling. From here, if there's space, we're going to take the left foot, just hover it on top of the right as if we had a block between the thighs. Then maybe extend that left arm forward, gazing under the left armpit. Be here for an in-breath. And gently on the exhale, take it through Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward facing, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left side to go. Inhale, reach that left leg high. Exhale, nice and gently step that left foot forward. Back heel drops. In breath, warrior one. Look tall, reach up. Exhale, hands find the mat. Back heel lifts. You step back, find that nice long plank. Then both heels roll to left. Push through the left hand, reach the right arm straight up. If you can from here, right foot will hover on top of the left, just a couple of inches, so not trying to lift it up to space. Just imagining there was that block between the thighs. And maybe spin that right pinky finger forward, extend the arm, and gaze up under that right armpit. Inhale, breath. Exhale, Chaturanga, nice and easy. Take your upward facing dog, big breath in. As you exhale, take it back, find downward facing dog, and simply drop the knees down. Come back, find an upright seat. We're going to keep the toes tucked under here if we can. Interlace the fingers behind you, roll the shoulder blades towards each other. Let the knuckles chase the floor as the chest, the crown of the head chase the sky. I'm going to feel the shoulder blades squeezing back towards each other here. So maybe you have just the fingers interlacing. You may have the palms, but if that means that the shoulders roll forward, then don't worry about it too much. The main concern is the retraction in the shoulder blades. So trying to squeeze them towards each other. So if you find better retraction with just the fingers interlaced, then don't worry about getting the palms together. Whatever's going to give you that most contraction through the muscles of the back and the most opening through the muscles of the front body. Take one last breath. And come on back. Find downward facing dog. Nice one. Once we arrive, inhale, right leg's going to reach up nice and tall. As we exhale, we're going to look forward, work to land the right foot outside the right hand. So roll forward, come up as high as you can on the left toes, and very gently land that right foot down, then lower your back knee onto the earth. From here, inhale, right arm will reach up and back, and if there's space, you bend up that left knee and work to catch hold of the left foot. Feel it's quite nice here to turn the right toes off to the side and fall off on the outside edge of the foot. And if you have a little more space, you can always lower your left forearm to the earth here. But if you feel this right shoulder drop down, keep peeling it back behind you because we are working on a twist here. So we're opening up the front body, squeezing that left heel in as you open that right knee out. Let your breath be deep. Use your exhales almost as a permission to let your body know that it is okay to soften. Sometimes when we feel those points of tension and tightness, it's easy to hold the breath. If we hold the breath, we're letting the body know that it's not okay to soften, that we're under stress or we're under tension or threat. So if you keep the breath steady and calm, it just gives a little signal to the body to let it know that it's okay. It's okay, we can move deeper. Take one last breath. Very gently release that left foot. We're going to work to take both forearms down onto the mat. So if they don't comfortably both rest on the floor, then I encourage you to take a block and pop it underneath your forearms here. Rather than palms flat, we're going to press the palms into each other. So before we were pressing our palms into the block, we don't have the block at the moment, so we'll push the palms together, flex the muscles of the arms. Let your chest move forward. You can have your right foot flat or you can fall off on the outside edge, whatever feels better for that right hip. I want to encourage you to take this a little further if you want to. If you feel there's more space, we will untuck the left toe. So the top of the foot, like in a cobra pose, is pressing down into the floor, or like an upward facing dog. Then you activate your left glute by squeezing it, push through the left foot to lift the left knee in the air. Keep driving through the forearms, keep flexing the muscles of the arms, moving the chest forward. Wherever you are, we'll be there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1. Gently lower the left knee if it's grounded. Come onto the hands. Start to guide your hips back, straighten through your right leg. If the right foot's a little wider and you want to step it in, just take it to the center. So we're here in Ardha Hanumanasana, or this halfway split. You're going to wrap your left hip forward, flexing the right toes towards your face. If you can, walk the arms forward, a little bit of a forward fold here. Shoulders roll back, chest moves forward. Crown of the head is leading the way, or maybe you drop the head. Full breath in. After the exhale, come onto the fingertips, lift the chest, and then very gently take your right foot back to meet your left. So we are coming to our second, so number 2 out of 3 dolphin poses today. In here we have an option to take it to a one-legged dolphin, or potentially work on very gentle hops to come upside down for forearm balance. You'll notice in that lizard lunge we took before, if you took that stronger option where you pressed the top of the left foot down and lifted the left knee in the air, that's because when we come into the one-legged variation here, it'll be the left leg that lifts. The leg that you were just strengthening in the lunge is going to be the leg that lifts. So take just one block now, underneath where your head is. Press the palms together, make sure the arms are flexed and you're pushing away from the floor. From here, if you're just coming into dolphin or the one-legged variation, option to draw chin to chest and gaze back towards the feet. If you plan on getting upside down and you're newer to that idea, I encourage you to look at your block. So lift those hips, come to the dolphin pose first. Option to stay here. If you're taking it further, we're going to step the right foot as close as we can towards us, so the hips will move forwards over the shoulders. Left leg will rise nice and high, point the toes. So we want to get the left leg as high as we can, because if we are working on that option to hop, we want the hops to be gentle. So the higher the left leg is, the more gentle those hops are. If you find the action, maybe you hang out in the split leg shape, or maybe you work to take both legs up together. Still pushing away from floor, flexing the arms. The very last piece of the puzzle, if you're a little more experienced in this position, you can drop the gaze back through the hands or through the arms. Keep flexing, keep pushing, keep drawing the navel in, squeezing the glutes. When you're ready to lower back down, it will be the right leg that lowers first. Gently touch the toes down. Take the left foot back to meet. Then nice and easy, lower the knees, untuck the toes, take it back to a closed knee child's pose. Let your hands catch hold of your heels, let your head drop down. As you pull back on those heels, just letting everything start to round in. Give your breath a chance to slow down. And then slowly start to lift back up. Nice work. So I always like to point out whatever happened or didn't happen, especially when it comes to challenges like things like arm balances and inversions. I always find that people can get very frustrated with themselves if they don't get up. Just know that some of these poses, these transitions can take days, months, years to get into. And every single day you're on the mat is going to be completely different. Some day it's going to be your day. You're going to get upside down every single time. And then other days it's just not going to work. And that's okay. That's part of the journey. That's why they call it the yoga practice, not the yoga perfect. So whatever happened or didn't happen, don't worry about it. The good news is we still get to try again on the other side. So we'll come back to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up nice and high. Take a big breath in. And let it out. Then left leg will rise as you breathe in, flex the toes, push evenly through the hands. Then look forward. We're going to work to land the left foot outside the left hand. So draw knee to chest, lift high on the right toes, push evenly through the hands and gently. Left foot will ground down. You lower the back knee. And right hand stays grounded. Inhale, left arm will reach up and back. Maybe you just rest the hand on the tailbone, or if there's space, bend up the right knee, catch hold of the foot. Let the left toes fall out, open that left hip a little more. And if you did on the previous side, you can take that right forearm down to the mat. Make sure left shoulder is still peeling back. Gaze over that left shoulder to open up the front body. Maybe squeeze that heel in a little bit more. See if you can open and wrap that left shoulder back just a touch. Take a final breath. And mindfully release the right foot. I'm going to work to take both forearms down onto the mat. So readjust your feet if you need to. If you're falling off the back of the mat, just shift yourself forward a touch. And both forearms are going to ground equally, so maybe you are on the blocks with forearms resting on the blocks, or maybe you have the forearms on the mat. Make sure the arms are active. This is all a preparation for our forearm balance. So feel everything pressing down, feel yourself resisting gravity. Stay here if you're happy, or if you did on the previous side, it'll be the top of the right foot that presses down. And as we push down, we flex that right glute and lift the right knee off the mat. We need to stabilize through the core, push through the forearms. Feel the work. So not everything we do in the yoga practice is going to be easy. Some parts you really look forward to, others you'll wish didn't exist. Again, that's all part of the game. So wherever you are, be there. For 5, feel the front of this right leg starting to work for 4. For 3, push through the forearms, flex the arms. For 2, and on 1, lower that right knee down. Come onto the hands, guide your hips back, straighten that left leg. And again, if it's off to the side and you want to adjust, you just take that left foot a little closer to the center, have one hand on either side, and allow yourself to move gently forward as you fold over that left leg. The left toes can flex towards you, shoulders roll back, maybe the head drops there. And slowly we'll rise. Come onto the fingertips, gently take your left leg back to meet your right. So we're preparing for our final dolphin / one-legged dolphin / forearm balance. This time, because we just strengthened the front of the right leg, will be the right leg that lifts first in the dolphin pose. If you're working on your gentle hops, remember you look at your block. Very last thing to shift once we get upside down is always going to be the gaze. So you want to look between the block for as long as you can until you find the balance. So set the hands down, make sure the arms are working, push away from the floor. No more talking, we are going to get right into it. So find your dolphin first. If you're taking it further, left leg will step in as close as it can, right leg will lift as high as it can, and then very gently work to take those little pops. Maybe you find the split leg shape. Maybe you take both legs up. If you are more familiar here, this time I encourage you to play with the tuck. So starting to draw heels to butt, the knees to chest. And if you're comfortable in this position, dropping the head through. Maybe the eyes search for the knees, if they're there. If you're anywhere else, just be there for 5, 4, for 3, 2. If you're upside down, it'll be the left leg that lowers first, followed by the right. Nice work. Come on up, interlace the hands behind the back. Roll the shoulder blades towards each other. Open up through the chest. And like we said before, whatever happened or didn't happen, doesn't matter, it's already done. No point worrying about it, we can't change what's already happened. We can only do the things that are required to get towards where we want to be next time, or further down the track. So instead of focusing all our energy on what could have been or what was not, how can we redirect that energy into patterns or habits or ways we can work towards where we want to go? So it's all about seeing what you can do, what you can put into place in the present to work towards the future and forgetting about the past. Take one last breath in. Big exhale. Gently release your arms. Give them a little shake out here. We're going to finish off just coming onto the bottom. Taking soles of feet together, letting your knees fall out wide. So coming into Baddha Konasana fold. I'm going to take the block, if we can. Just set it behind the heels. I like to pop it on the higher side to start with, and then you can work towards taking it lower if you like. I'm going to move the hips back slightly. Allow yourself to fold over. Maybe the forehead rests on the block. Maybe you rest the block against the feet. Allow your forehead to rest there. Maybe you don't need a block. Again, whatever's happening or not happening, don't worry about it. Let yourself drop into this space. No longer focusing on the strength or the work. You're just allowing the mind, the breath, and the body to rest. And as always, I encourage you to stay right there in that position for as long as you have today. The video end by itself. And when it does and you feel it's time to move, I encourage you to leave a comment below. Let me know how you went. If you have any requests for further videos or any questions about the practice, please feel free, let me know and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, I'll see you all on the mat again soon. Peace.